Hi, 8th grade parents. My name is Corey Izakaitis and I'm head of the upper school. And welcome to the Transition to Upper School slideshow. Traditionally, every spring we invite all of you in for an opportunity to hear from department chairs, our academic dean, dean of students, college counseling, for a walk through what will be the on-ramp to upper school for your rising 9th graders. But unfortunately, in this situation with COVID-19, we're going to start with a slideshow, and we will send you an opportunity for a couple of Zoom meetings where you can send in questions, and we'll happily walk you through some of the questions you have. But for right now, I want to prepare you that you're going to get to hear from all of our department chairs and coordinators in upper school by department to hear a little bit about what they offer in upper school and how you can begin to think about the courses your son or daughter will take. And they are beginning the scheduling process here shortly. They haven't missed anything. We're going to walk them through, even if we can't be with them in person. So for now, I'm going to pass you off to one of our other administrators who's going to talk to you about other aspects of upper school. We can't wait to see your children next fall, and we hope that they are excited to come to upper school.
Hello, my name is Dr. Pascal Osambe, and I have the distinct honor of serving as the Upper School Dean of Students. In the Upper School, we are committed to using our core values of respect, responsibility, honesty, compassion, fairness, integrity, and moral courage as a guide. This stage of development for your child is very important. In fact, research has shown that the habits and behaviors they carry out now will stay with them well into adulthood. As a result, we encourage things like a growth mindset, responsible citizenship, which includes digital citizenship, accountability, critical thinking, resilience, and independence, to name a few. The first thing I would like to encourage you to do is to visit the Upper School Handbook to acquaint yourself with the general guidelines for the upper school. Some general changes you may notice are as follows. Advisory. We believe that advisory creates a smaller community within the larger upper school community. Advisory is a place where students can form connections with their peers and have an adult that will be able to guide them through the upper school journeys. Students stay in the advisory for all 4 years of upper school, and they meet once a week. Secondly, morning check-in. Students are expected to check in by 8 a.m. every day. If a student fails to check in by that time, they will be marked tardy. 3 attendance infractions, which are failure to check in, tardies, or unexcused absences, will result in a detention. Timeliness is valued by Greater Society, and it is imperative to help students develop the habit of being early or on time so that they can make positive first impressions and they are ready to learn. Study hall. In the 9th grade year, all students are assigned to a study hall during their free periods. This provides order and structure in their day and allows them to be able to get some or all of their work done during the school day. With permission from their study hall proctors, students can sign out to go and get extra help from a teacher. Clubs and affinity groups. There are various clubs in the upper school that enable students to explore their passions and nurture their leadership skills. There is a club fair early in the fall where students will find out all about the clubs that the upper school has to offer. The affinity group program allows students to connect with their peers that share similar identities in order to foster a greater sense of belonging in the upper school. Lunchtime. Students all have a common lunchtime that extends from 12:50 to 1:20 p.m. This is a 30-minute time frame. Students are not permitted to have cell phones out in the dining hall, and this is to foster better connections and lunch table connections as well. Community cafes. In the upper school, we believe that it is essential to allow our students to engage in dialogues about current events or various topics at the forefront of adolescent culture. Our community cafe platform allows students to engage in these meaningful conversations. Lastly, dress code. Please see our handbook, and I encourage you to review the handbook with your child for important dress code items. Your partnership in this area is highly appreciated. The upper school is an exciting time. It's a challenging time, but it also can be a rewarding time for your child. And I am excited to be part of their journey. As always, it is important that we are good partners in achieving the same goals you have for your child.
Hello, my name is Beth Reifeis, and I'm the English Department Chair. In 9th grade English, we continue to build upon the reading and the writing skills taught in middle school. Our 9th grade curriculum takes a look at stories' origins, the elements and function of narrative, and we offer many variety of texts and short stories in order for our students to best study what are our stories, where have all of our stories come from. We read many texts such as Audacity, House on Mango. Each 9th grade teacher selects a Shakespearean play. Our students are given choices in graphic novels to read, Mouse, Persepolis, and March 1 or 2. Certainly there are a variety of discussions revolving around each and every short story, article, play, and or text that they read. In 10th grade, our reading focuses more on the American story, and we try to offer as many different voices as possible. We reach back into some of the classics and then share with the students some of the newer pieces written. English 10 and Advanced 10 for right now both read Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men, Salvage the Bones, and The Fire Next Time. Our Advanced 10 students currently additionally read The Namesake and either American Childhood or The Year of Magical Thinking. All 10th grade students select a particular play to read, either Fences, The Laramie Project, or Raisin in the Sun. For all of our classes, we're constantly going back and forth between offering them some of the beautiful texts that we've read, the canon, so to speak, but then also introducing them to new voices that are out there and we really believe the students can learn from and enjoy. Writing, again, we continue to build upon the skills taught in 8th grade. We certainly focus on analyzing text, evidence, and building arguments. As we move through their development 9 through 12, I liken it to working with Legos. In middle school and for some students in 9th grade, it's the Lego that you actually have the picture. So you're looking at the picture and you're deciding which pieces to put in. As we move through and as your student becomes more and more efficient with writing, then we take the picture away and they design the Legos according to what they would like their writing to be, helping them develop their own voice and their own style. You'll see when we get to 11th and 12th grade, our students have the option of qualifying for Honors AP English. We rotate the years between having AP English Lang 1 year and AP English Lit 1 year. If a student qualifies but chooses not to take our AP class in 11th grade, they can certainly qualify and take our AP class in 12th grade. You'll see that we offer a variety of classes. The slide you're looking at shows our course selection for 2020-2021. We are always expanding our options, challenging both ourselves and our students. And we're also encouraging students to give us ideas for classes to run, so that is very fun as well. We have other additional options in the English department. Journalism, you can see we offer beginning journalism 2, 3, and 4, and then journalism editors. We have a wonderful debate team. And public speaking, the junior speech is a requirement, and I'm certainly looking forward to working with your student then. Please, if you have any questions about the English curriculum, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi there, my name is Chris Bolognese. I'm the Department Chair for Math and Computer Science. And thanks for watching this video. We're really excited to have your son or daughter join us in the upper school. Math is so important, not only for problem solving, but critical thinking, thinking strategically. So we really think those dispositions are important, not just learning skills, but a way to think and problem solve. So every year, your son or daughter will be taking a math course. There's a 4-year requirement, including Algebra 2. Either starting in Algebra 2 or potentially in advanced geometry, your son or daughter will be asked to buy a handheld calculator. That's really important to have for standardized tests later on. There's a lot of flexibility. If you look at our flow chart, there's arrows going all over the place. That's just showing that students aren't necessarily stuck in a track, and we have a lot of cool courses, especially later on in junior and senior year, that are more elective based. So there's a lot of flexibility between standard courses. Those are more procedural in the sense of thinking about skills and algorithms, and it's a bit more teacher scaffolded. An advanced course, however, is a focus far more on conceptual reasoning and more non-routine problems. And an honors course is definitely far more in terms of workload, and the pace is far more aggressive, similar to a college level course. So just 3 cautions. The goal is not necessarily to race to calculus. It's okay even not to take calculus in high school, but that definitely is an option if that interests your son or daughter. Advanced is not necessarily better than a standard level course. We really want an appropriate fit for a student, and it's okay for a student to start in a standard level course and then progress into an advanced course later. And students aren't stuck in a single pathway, so there's an opportunity to grow and mathematically mature. As far as computer science, it's a really important field that continues to have increasing demand. We offer 4 different computer science classes. Many high schools only offer 1 or even 0. So there are 2 electives that a student could take as a freshman. One is called CS0, that's an introductory computer programming class. And the other is HCS1, an honors-based computer science class. Neither require any programming background. Students can take either one as a freshman. They're really rich courses because both are project-based, so students are working on labs and projects of interest. And then we showcase those projects in a CS fair at the end of the year. So what are some differences between the two? CS0 is a half-credit course because it meets less frequently, and it's far more of a gentle introduction to the more aggressive HCS1 class. In CS0, they learn a variety of different ways of thinking of programming, whether it be in HTML or JavaScript. They use a variety of different platforms to think computationally. HCS1 is far more aggressive in pace. It's an accelerated pace because it's an AP course, and students are preparing for the AP exam in May. It's all Java based, so students will be becoming very good at one language in particular, and it's just more traditional in the sense that there are quizzes every week versus something that's a bit more lab-based as CS0 is. We found that there's a big correlation between math placement and success in the honors computer science class. So if your son or daughter is maybe starting in a standard level math class as a freshman, CS0 might be a good option just to get started. And then with success there, they could take HCS1. So I encourage you to consider computer science. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Frida Eden, and I'm excited to speak to you today on behalf of the World Languages Department about our course offerings in Spanish, Chinese, and Latin. So first, if you're coming to us from middle school, from 8th grade here at Columbus Academy, your child has the option to take any of those 3 languages and will be placed in either level 1 or level 2, depending on previous experience, recommendation of instructor, and the decision that you make in conjunction with your teacher as a family. If you're coming to us from another school, we'll take into consideration previous experience as well as potentially a placement test to determine which level's right for you. But all 9th graders will be in either level 1 or level 2 of their respective language. And you can see from the flowchart that we offer through level 5. And beginning in Spanish 3, Chinese 3, or Latin 3, students would have the opportunity to do either the standard course or the advanced course, which then would go on to honors level at level 4. 4, and 5. And those course distinctions would indicate that there are APs, potentially SAT subject tests that are part of the preparation in those courses. But besides that, we're excited to bring you global experiences in our classroom, bringing as much culture as we can into the language learning experience. And of course, no matter what decision you make, whether it's Spanish, Chinese, or Latin, I know it'll be a rich experience for your son or daughter inside the classroom and out, as there are lots of other activities that each of our language groups do as a complement to the language learning in the classroom. And while it's maybe not the best time to think about travel, with an optimistic eye to the future, I do want to mention that each of our languages typically take trips in either the spring during spring break or in the summer after school closes. In the past, for example, the Spanish trips have gone to Cuba, Spain, Peru, and more. Chinese trips have journeyed to mainland China, Japan, Taiwan, and our Latin program has gone to Greece and Italy. So something to consider, and you'll hear more about that later in the year, maybe as the landscape improves. So we're excited to see you in our classrooms, and buena suerte en español. Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Tim Morford. I am chair at the History Department at Columbus Academy. I want to offer you a warm welcome to the upper school as parents of soon-to-be ninth graders. We can't wait for your children to come through the doors and fill our hallways and classrooms in the fall. And I thought I would just give you a quick overview of the department's offerings and philosophy so you have a better sense of what your child will experience over the next 4 years. The goal of the History Department at CA is to support the school's broader mission of developing responsible, thoughtful, capable, and confident citizens. And I think you can agree that the need has never been greater. Our 4-year program in the upper school is rooted in a foundation of world history and global issues, complemented by an examination of U.S. history and government in the 11th grade, and an array of electives in both history and social sciences that are open to to juniors and to seniors. All of our offerings focus on a balance between skill development and content knowledge, and try to encourage an active consideration of the rights and responsibilities of citizenship, whether that be local, national, or global. So, in ninth grade, all freshmen take the same class, World History 1. This is primarily a look at early world history through a thematic lens, so kids can explore the big topics like religion or empire, or agriculture, and also connect them to today and to current events and global issues. We also spend a fair amount of time on global citizenship and world geography early in the course, and our goal is really to help kids ease that transition from middle school to upper school ways of thinking and learning. So while we want them to develop a sense of ownership of their education and some autonomy, we also provide the scaffolding necessary to help kids develop from middle schoolers to upper schoolers in developmentally appropriate ways. All sophomores will continue the world history approach with a look at modern world history, either through a standard level World History 2 or the honors level Honors World History 2. This is the opportunity for kids who are ready and feel qualified and interested to take a more challenging course, a course that prepares them for the AP exam in modern world history. All juniors take U.S. History or Honors U.S. History. The latter provides preparation for the AP exam in U.S. History. And then all juniors and seniors can take a variety of different electives. While not too many juniors double up with both U.S. and another elective, some do. And then some seniors take a multitude of history offerings and some take none at all. Those offerings range from honors classes like modern European history and econ and government, to advanced classes like advanced moral philosophy, to standard level classes in international studies or modern Middle East or psychology. We also have a couple interesting offerings such as CSBGL, which is a social research class that is part of a partnership with University of Pennsylvania, in which Columbus Academy students consider issues that are relevant to our community at CA, develop questions, and practice social science skills of research before they present a report at Penn in April. All these courses are geared towards helping kids become more thoughtful, engaged, reflective, knowledgeable young men and women, right? And hopefully more interesting people to boot. I hope that gives you a good sense of what the department's offerings are and what our philosophy is. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, either via email or otherwise. And I look forward to seeing you guys in person as soon as we have the chance to do so. Thanks very much.
Hello, everyone. This is Moira Landis, and I am your Science Department Chair. I want to welcome your students to what we think is a comprehensive and exciting science program in the upper school. All students are required to take biology, chemistry, and physics in order to graduate. As you can see, we have both standard and advanced levels for each of these subjects, as well as an inquiry-based option for physics. This class follows a less traditional format that includes perhaps more discussions and more projects than a standard physics class. All of these classes are offered as lab sciences and all meet for a 2-hour lab class every cycle. So you can see that there is a lot of opportunity to do hands-on lab work for all of our students. We are happy to say that we have quite a few electives to offer. These are mostly taken in the senior year, although some of these courses are open to juniors as well. This variety allows for students to either advance to an honors class, which culminates in an advanced placement exam, or to simply follow their area of interest in a particular area of science. Ninth graders all start with biology. In order for your child to take advanced biology, they must be recommended for this by their 8th grade science teacher. The upper school science teachers have full confidence in these recommendations. It is important to note that, while a student may be recommended for standard biology for 9th grade, it is certainly possible for them to qualify for an advanced or honors science class in subsequent years. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I look forward to meeting both you and your child soon.
Hi, I'm Jessica Sneeringer. In the Fine and Performing Arts in upper school, we have a lot of different offerings. While the graduation requirement is only 1 credit for the 4 years, you'll find that the majority of our students take 6, 7, 8, even more credits in their 4 years in the upper school. In the fine arts, you should know that the prerequisite for most fine arts classes is Foundations of Studio Art. That is a freshman class, but we have sophomores and juniors also take it if they have other interests they want to explore their freshman year. After that year of Foundations of Studio Art, you have options in 2D, 3D, photography. Those can all lead to sculpting and portfolio classes. Portfolio classes are for juniors and seniors who are kind of intending on doing some art at the college level. So that's a longer course offering. It's an hour-long class. But you don't have to worry about that for a couple of years. In the performing arts, we have band, choir, orchestra, and we also have drama and portfolio tech. So in the band world, we have concert band and jazz band. Jazz band's an audition-only group. Concert band is for anybody, and even if you don't play an instrument, you're welcome. We'll figure out how to get you there and meet you where you are and build you up. Orchestra has 2 orchestras, advanced orchestra and contemporary orchestra. There is an audition to get into advanced orchestra. Mr. Wong can help you with that. They both meet 3 out of 6 days or half-credit classes. In the choir world, we have Camerata, which is for men and women, and we have Viking Choir, which is for freshman girls and any girls who want to take a half-credit choir class instead of the full-credit Camerata. We also offer Music Theory 1 and Honors Music Theory. It's a 2-course sequence, really, with Honors Music Theory being an AP level course, and Music Theory 1 being more analytical, with Music Theory 2 being skill-based. We also offer Portfolio Tech, which is theater backgrounds. It's kind of a great course. You have very hands-on work. You build sets. You use power tools. You learn about lighting and sound design, set design, costume design. It's tailored very much to the students' needs and interests, really. You also have a new class that was offered starting this past year, which is it's an interesting course. It's a half-credit course called Dance and Movement and Theater Movement. And Mrs. Eads offers that. It's a half-credit course that explores acting, drama, stage movement, preparing monologues, working together in all of those veins. The course offerings are vast. They have tons of venues for kids of all interests. As you progress in your arts education, we can even do independent studies. There's art history for seniors. Jazz band is before school, so that we have some options to let you explore what you want to explore. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Craig Dow, and I serve as academic dean in the upper school. I also teach 2 sections of pre-calculus, and I'm the father of a 4-year-old. And I just want to start off by sharing a little story about a time when he was 3, that we went on a father-son trip in March to Canada and visit my family, and also went on our first hike in the woods. And he was always wanting to run out in front and lead the way we went. He walked to a tree with pointy branches and he kind of navigated around it very carefully. He encountered icy patches, taking steps around it and then falling down into snow that was probably about 2 feet deep. And, I think back to that hike, and it parallels how we want our kids to grow and thrive as they go through their high school experience. We want them to take a lead in their learning, to own that process and to discover and develop their passions. We want to help them navigate those slippery patches when things don't go as anticipated. And then we want them to develop a sense of wonder about their world, to kind of see it through a 3 or 4-year-old's eyes and find their place in the world. And I hope that your child will have that experience as they go through the 4-year experience in the upper school. My role as academic dean includes overseeing student learning in the upper school. It also includes student academic course planning and building the master's schedule. And so, as we kind of look at the year ahead, I would like to just kind of share a few graduation requirements with you to kind of think about these 4 years upcoming. Every student takes 4 credits in English and mathematics, including Algebra 2. In the world languages, every student completes up to level 3 in one language, or up to level 2 in 2 different languages. And then every student completes at least 3 credits in history and in the lab sciences. But many students kind of take, many more courses beyond that, but those are just the minimum requirements, in addition to having 1 credit in the fine or performing arts. But again, so many kids take many courses in the arts as a balance kind of within their schedule, that they have an academic focus and then also exploring their passions in the fine and performing arts. One thing I just want to note in terms of GPA weighting, that advanced courses have an additional 10% and honors courses have an additional 15% in the GPA calculations, but we encourage students to focus on their interest and make sure that they maintain a sense of personal balance when choosing what courses they'd like to take and the number of different courses that they have. Other requirements in the 9th grade are every student takes a health class that meets once out of every 6 days for 45 minutes. And then also a freshman research course that helps them in their work with their history and their English classes. And so in preparation for future essays and research that they're doing in those classes, and so it supports them for greater success in English and history. Every 10th grader takes ethics and community. Every 11th grader completes a junior speech and gives that speech to the upper school. And then in 12th grade, all of our seniors complete a project at the end of their school year. Also, every student completes 6 physical education units, usually by participating in academy athletics, at least 1 season in each school year, and they can earn up to 2 credits per school year. So by participating in a sport, their freshman, sophomore, and junior years, they would complete their physical education requirements. And then also you'll see in the slide about summer reading that you can get more information there using the link that's provided. And every student makes 1 book selection that they'll read during the summer. And then when we come back together during orientation, that they will meet together with a group of students that has also read the book. Just to give you an overview of the upper school schedule, you can take a look at this first example that you can see that we have a 6-day letter day cycle from A through F, just like the rest of the school. You'll find that the block periods, they're 65 minutes in length, and they meet 4 times every 6-day cycle. So if you look at this first example, you can see that in block 2, this student, you can see it in an orange there, this student takes geometry. In block 3, this student in yellow, you can see, takes English 9. In blue, you can see block 7, where they take world history. And in purple, you can see the Chinese 2 class that meets in block 8. But you'll also notice that for the biology class that's in red there, that's in block 1, you will see that also on block in block 4 on B day, you can see that it's attached to that biology class. And what this allows is for this each science class to have a 2-hour time period to be able to have time to finish an extended lab, finish dissecting that pig so they don't stink up the entire upper school, that they get to finish dissecting the pig and then clean up and then go on with their school day. And so by having that additional time period, our science classes can complete those longer labs. The student also has a half a credit of elective classes. You'll see in block 5 that they're taking Foundations of Studio Art. In the block 4s and 5s, those are 45-minute blocks. And this art class meets 3 out of every 6 days, so on alternating days through the schedule. So this student with a half a credit of electives, you get a sense of what times that they have open in their schedule, and this is when they would be assigned a study hall to be able to work on their homework assignments, prepare for assessments, and kind of make the most of their time during the school day so they have less work to do after school. We know our students are getting involved in a lot of extracurricular activities and sports, and so it's really helpful to get as much work done during the school day so that when they come home from an away game that's further afield, that they might have less to do when they come back home. You'll also, just to note that there's a health class that you can see in this person's schedule, and we would also have a freshman research class that would meet during the block 4 or 5, just once out of every 6 days. One other thing to note about this first student schedule is that they have approximately 9.5 hours of unscheduled time every 6-day cycle. And so this gives them about an average of 95 minutes per school day that they would have time in study hall to work on their homework and prepare for assessments. Now, as we move on to the second example, you will see that this student has 1 elective credit, so 6 total credits in their schedule. But then they also have a 0-period journalism class that meets once a week before the school day begins at 7:15 in the morning. So from 7:15 to 8, that they would be taking this journalism class for 1 semester at that time. This is not included in the elective credits that have the limitation of a 2 total within the school day. But this student, in addition to their 5 academic credits, is taking Foundations of Studio Art in block 6 on C and F days. You can also see that the other block 6 periods are open, and that's when they would also have a study hall during that time period. And the student also has Introduction to Computer Science, a half credit elective in block 5. And this student would have approximately 7 1/3 hours of unscheduled time each 6-day cycle, which averages about to 73 minutes per school day of time to work in study halls. Moving on to the third example, this student has jazz band in the morning, 3 days per week, starting at 7:15 to 8 in the morning. And then also 1.5 credits of additional electives within the school day. They're taking in block 6, you can see that it has Honors Computer Science 1, which is a full credit elective. And then the student also has Viking Choir during block 5 here, which is a half credit elective for our female singers who are singing treble. That's the vocal music offering for our female singers. And so this student, when taking a look at how much time they have within the school day, they have about a little over 5 hours of unscheduled time. And so this gives them about 52 minutes on average per school day to work on their homework in study hall. And then the last example, this student has their schedule filled the most. They are taking 2 full credits of electives, so 7 in total. And they also have debate scheduled beginning before the school day. That actually meets on Wednesdays and Fridays from 7:15 to 8 if they wanted to participate in the half credit debate program. But this student has Honors Computer Science 1 in block 6, and they also are involved in concert band during block 5. And so with 2 elective credits, this is the most scheduled that a student can be within the school day, because it gives them approximately 3 hours of unscheduled time every 6 days, so an average of about 30 minutes per day. As you make decisions as a family about your child's courses for next year, you can review all of the information in our upper school course description guide. And you can find that information on columbusacademy.org. If you click the icon with the 3 bars in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, a left panel will come out, and then you click on Parents. scroll down to the Upper School resources, and then you will find the Upper School course description guide link right there. And then the last thing I want to mention is that our timeline for academic planning, because we're in virtual mode this year, I just want to let you know kind of the timing of events that are coming up. On April 23rd, students completed a personal balance reflection and reviewed the possible electives with their advisor. And they were also encouraged to review their options as a family before they completed the next activity. And then on April 27th, students received an elective request Google form that allowed them to select up to 2.0 credits of their electives and just putting an initial slate of electives in the system for the time being. They also could list any 0-period classes, debate, journalism, and jazz band that happened before school. And we asked students to submit this by Wednesday, April 29th. But please note that further adjustments may be made by families when you receive the full list of course requests in the mail in early May. On April 28th, the 8th grade is going to be meeting with Ms. Izakaitis, Dr. Lasambe, and me through a Zoom meeting, and we'll have a chance to kind of go over upper school course planning, electives, student life, and their transition to the upper school during that time. During the week of May 4th, because we're not able to share forms with students in person this year, we're going to mail forms home to families through to the home address that's listed in my backpack. And on this list of course requests, you will find that every student will have English 9, World History 1, Health, and Freshman Research. It will also list the recommendations that their math, science, and world language teachers had placed on their schedule. They also will see the selective electives that they had listed in their previous survey. And so with all this information together, we ask that families review this information before they complete another survey to confirm their course requests. And by Wednesday, May 13th, we ask that students will complete the student version of the survey that will be sent to their school email addresses. And there'll be prompts that are within that survey, and ask them to, if they're wishing to appeal for a different level of course in math, science, or world language, they could simply write the course that they would like to take after the appeal prompt. Then if they want to make any adjustments to their elective course schedules, they can add or drop, fill in the information in those boxes that follow those prompts. And then in the rationale box, they could share more information about, the reasons why they're appealing for another level class or making an adjustment to their electives. And then we will also ask one parent or guardian to complete another version of the survey that asks them just to confirm the information that was entered on the student survey and then provide any additional comments or requests. And then this survey will be sent to the email addresses that are listed in my backpack. If appeals testing is required for any of the course appeals, the appropriate department chair will contact your family to confirm the timing of the placement test. But at this time, we anticipate that placement testing will occur sometime in early August, so that students' schedules could then be finalized and then shared on the first day of student orientation. But as we begin the scheduling process, we want to support students in identifying the combination of classes that provide them an appropriate level of challenge. We want them to be stretched so that they grow, but we don't want to be stretched too hard that they end up breaking under some of the pressures that might happen with overextending themselves. And so we want them to make decisions that foster that sense of personal balance as they grow as learners. And we just look forward to having your child join us in the upper school next year. And we're hopeful and anticipate that we will be able to be together in August and watch for opportunities in the coming weeks for Zoom meetings and additional appointments beginning in the week of May 4th. Just if you would like to get some more information or if you have any questions about your child's schedule. Take care and have a wonderful week.
Hello everybody, I'm Darnell Haywood, Director of College Counseling at Columbus Academy, and I am here representing our wonderful college counseling team just to let you all know that we have a college counseling plan in place for you and your child. I know you heard tonight from many of the wonderful department chairs here, and you heard about the terrific academic offerings that we have at our school. And I wanted to reassure all of you that every single one of those courses leads to a 4-year college or university for your child. And there's so many different paths and opportunities for success in the upper school. And what we want to let you know is that during your first 2 years in high school, you really focus on being at Columbus Academy, on adjusting to the academic rigors. And then during the latter half of the high school career, you focus on college counseling. And we have a wonderful team in place to help you with that. We look forward to working with you and your child. And just to let you know, if you want more information, you can go to the Columbus Academy College Counseling webpage to get our 4-year timeline and get a sense of how things will unfold. Can't wait to see you and your children.